Growth is very lonely and it applies more to just people. It applies to yourself internally too, because you don't just lose people. Sometimes you lose parts of yourself, and that's what growth is. That's what self improvement is. And you self reflect, and that's a you job. That's nobody else. People can give you tools and try to help you, but you have to do the work. And 9 times out of 10, there's going to be nobody there for you to celebrate those small wins that you've accomplished. And it's just like I said, it's internal work. But it also applies externally when you begin to lose friendships or relationships, or it's not always because something bad happened. It's because you're changing. You might have people might have certain disagreements. People might not agree with the things that you believe in or the person who you're becoming or trying to become. Some people they just can't understand or they choose not to understand what you're doing, or some people are jealous of it because they see that you are trying to help yourself and you are prioritizing your time for whatever it is, and you're trying to help yourself to the best of your ability, and people they're not doing that. And maybe they were once close to you once upon a time, but once they see that you're trying to better yourself or you don't really align with them anymore, or you're not trying to do the things that they do, or like you have a certain crowd or group of friends and they do something that you don't want to do anymore, you're trying to make that change and better yourself. They see that and they are freaking out internally because they wish that they could do that, but they're not doing it. And they see someone else who's trying and they hate that. And, or other people's opinions might differ from you, or they just can't see what you're trying to do for yourself or why you're doing it. And they don't align with you in that way. And it sucks because they could be the people that you love or have known for a very long period of time, but that's okay because you are shedding your layers. You're shedding layers of things internally and externally, and that will reflect externally when you focus what's inside of you. And if your views and opinions and beliefs differ, and your dreams and certain things that you're doing in your life will differ and change, that means relationships will change. It's just a natural outcome, and you don't even realize it. And it doesn't have to be a verbal, like, you don't have to communicate with people and have to have arguments with people or have a certain situation happen for you to stop being friends. Just life distances you from other people, including them too. They might have different beliefs and they're changing, and you are too. And as time goes on, you just kind of distance yourself, and because you are paving a new way, whatever it is in life, because time does change you. Um, with your experiences, like I was saying before, your beliefs and your values and your opinions and stuff, they will change based on what you experience, what you try and strive for, your goals, or certain opportunities and things that just pull you in a different direction in life. We can't always control it, and it doesn't always have to be a some like you say something bad to so and so and then you're not friends anymore. It's just certain things happen when beliefs differ, people differ, time changes people, blah blah blah. But it also goes deeper internally. When you just say you were addicted to something, it doesn't always have to be alcohol, but it could be alcohol, drugs, substances, something that you've been coping with and that you feel comfortable with. Or if it's a way of thinking, if it's something that you've been accustomed to your whole life or for a long period of time, if an experience warranted it, um, if something was traumatic to you, now you think in a certain way, or you get angry, or you shut down completely, or you you do things that hurt you, but they feel good in the moment, like drugs, for example, or something that brings you a lot of dopamine, artificial dopamine, like a phone. When you do you cope in certain ways in your life, or you've been so accustomed to doing something for a long period of time, once you try to change it or move out of that, it becomes scary, or it becomes you feel less secure because you don't have this backbone, you don't have this solid foundation or structure anymore in your life. You don't have that thing to fall back on into, because you're trying to change that, or you're trying to just stop it completely. And in the beginning, yes, it's scary, and that's what stops a lot of people from doing anything in life, really. But applying to internal, like, work, people become afraid, or it's the idea of it that it seems hard or too much, or It's uncomfortable because we just, as human beings, we hate uncomfortability, or we are afraid, or we don't have the answer. We don't know what's going to come out of it. It's just the uncertainty, the uncomfortability, the fear, everything on top of it. And we stop ourselves from trying. We prevent ourselves from doing a lot of things because of fear and that uncomfortability and stepping out of our coping mechanisms, or things that we feel like are helping us when they're really not helping us. Um, but if you truly want to better yourself, you will make that change internally. You will start to self-reflect. And like I said, it's a you job. And a lot of the time it will push other people away. And a lot of the time it will happen without you meaning it. But once you start to do that internal work and you get over that fear and that hump of like, okay, this feels uncomfortable, you will get over that and you will see the brighter picture. If you're trying to stop a certain addiction, and you stop for a while and it feels so uncomfortable, you feel afraid, you don't have this thing to go back on, you're not going to completely self-sabotage. Just say that's something that you have, and you self-sabotage a lot of the things that you do or you accomplish or just something in the end, and you end up making yourself feel worse, and you know that you do this, or you push people away on purpose when things start to feel good, for example, and you want to change that, or you're a very independent person and you're trying to be dependent on more people, it's very uncomfortable to step out and try to do that. But once you begin small and then throughout time you continue this practice over and over again, the fear that you once had before trying it or during it in the beginning, it starts to decrease until it goes away and then you're comfortable with it and you're like, I can't believe that I was so afraid to do this. It's helped me in more ways than I ever could have imagined, and I wish I could have done this sooner. I wish I could have helped myself or make this change or just did things for myself. I was so afraid of the outcome, or I was so afraid of feeling a certain way. Once you step out and you do it, it's like, okay, well, it really wasn't, it really wasn't that bad, or it's helped me more in ways than I could have ever imagined. And that can go with something that, like an addiction, and it's been hurting you in more ways than you ever could imagine. But once you stop it for a while, yeah, it might hurt you or it might feel uncomfortable. After you get over that hump, you feel so much greater. It's just so many benefits come out of changing yourself for the better, or stopping something, or a certain way of thinking, or if you act a certain way, or there's just something about you that you want to change or you want to grow and you want to learn about. Once you really you dive into it and start going into like you start going into the motions and staying consistent in many ways, you realize, okay, this is helping me more. And I'm glad that I did this. And then it also establishes a lot of self trust in you because you know that you can make the change and you can learn more about yourself. Because being isolated, it creates a lot of boredom, but it also creates a lot of thought and a lot of internal reflection, and you learn a lot of the ways that you act, why you act a certain way, or why you feel a certain way, or how and what do you do, just a whole bunch of things that you can learn about yourself and why, and the root a lot of the root causes and a lot of the root problems that you might have. They You will learn about it the more that you are alone, and you will learn a lot of the core values and beliefs and just a lot about yourself that you wouldn't be able to learn about around other people. And it will help you become a better person, and it will help the right people and right opportunities and experiences come into your life because you will be a magnet to that. But it's very lonely, like I said before, when you're so accustomed to things in your life, if you're so used to a certain routine, if you're so used to a group of people or a certain person, once you step out of that and do something different, it's a little scary. Of course, it's scary. But once you see the end goal and you see what you're moving toward, and once you get over that hump and that fear and whatever is preventing you from making a change, and you realize, okay, well, this state of isolation, not completely, but being isolated or just being by myself and learning to enjoy my company, and you embrace that, you are carving this new path, and it will continue to branch out into new opportunities in your life. You just have to take that step and face that uncomfortability, face that fear of being lonely, and face that because it is a truth and it will happen to you. It's not like you're going to be completely shut out from society unless that's what you want, but like I'm saying is when you do make these changes, a lot of things will differ, and people will differ, and values and beliefs, and you will become different, and you will lose and strip certain parts of yourself, and but you will add new things. I think of it as making room for new things. Like with when you lose friendships, you're making room for the newer people. And when you shed old routines or you shed old ways of thinking and things like that, you are making room for improvement. And that's what it is. Just face that uncomfortability, and growth is lonely, but you will get over that, and then it will lead to bigger things. You need to go through that uncomfortability and that pain and that fear in the beginning to lead to something better. Because you're climbing a mountain is what it is. You're climbing that mountain. Once you get over to the hump, get over that fear, and then you start going down, and it's like, okay, this feels better. This is easier. This is coming easier to me and better. And you'll just realize that it is helping you in more ways than you could ever imagine and that you can't see right now. But just think of it as a necessity to become a better person and learn about yourself more and become a better person for other people and attract the right opportunities and people into your life. So I hope that I said at least one thing or added one thing into your life that made you think or helped you in some sort of way. So thank you.